Racer Radio on AM 1170 The Answer is sponsored by Love Radio Network. This is Racer Radio on AM 1170 The Answer. If it's a car, motorcycle, boat, or anything else with an engine in San Diego, it's on Racer Radio. Now, here's your host, Dave Stahl.
All right, folks, welcome to Racer Radio. I'm Dave.
And I'm Michelle.
Also, this is the Barona Speedway moment. We had the mini sprints.
The lightning
sprints last night. We got Dirt Dude on the line. Well, buddy, how did it go?
Dirt Dude.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Great.
We're recovering.
I am trying to recover, too. It was a pretty awesome night last night. So we'll just kind of jump into it, and then we'll go over what happened, how the night went. So in our junior sprints, our junior drivers out there, Kaylee Carter get a main event win. In the mini dwarf, the sportsman division, Matthew Cagle got a main event win. And our mini dwarf masters, Landon Burnell, got a main event win. Out to the big track now for our main events. We had the California Lightning Sprints back. Cody Nye got a main event win, and it was a nice, emotional main event for him because, he was just thanking everybody, and he's like a San Diego boy. He went to San Diego State, and so it was really a lot. He had a lot of family here, and so it really meant a lot to him. It was like, I think it was like the first main event win for him.
Wow.
Lightning Springs. So on to the Street Stocks, Brian Brown. Dude, he had a strong running car that's for sale. There was everyone there. We had 8 cars show up for that, and everyone was a pretty good run. Those guys are all pretty fast. On to the modifieds. Blake Thornell came all the way out of Apple Valley with Randy Thornell, and Blake Thornell got a main event win. And that was a good race too. Our track just really held together last night really well. Onto the pro ponies, Dennis Taylor got another main event win. That's his 5th main event win, and he starts in the back, so he has to go all the way from the back to the front to get a main event win. So
wow.
Russell Staley got a main event win in the stock ponies. Onto the pure stocks, Terry Adams got a main event win, and that was a good run too. Dwarf cars, Ryan O'Connor got a main event win, and he just had a rocket last night. the 7, Mikey Hall was behind him and could never catch him. He was just on a rail. That car just did really well. Brittany started on the pole. Brittany, our teacher, started on the pole for the main event and finished 9th overall.
All right.
And that was,
I was just going to say, how'd she get on the pole?
She got on the pole, and she didn't text me and tell me she was on the pole. She's in trouble.
She did well in the heat race, and then that one came back down for the draw, and when she drew a number 1, which means she's on the pole.
Gosh.
Did her eyes get real big? Did her eyeballs get real big?
Her heat race, I was like, who was driving in that car? Because it wasn't you, because they were just, on it. I had to give her a hard time because, man, she was in a fast heat. She was in with some of the big kids, and she was right there with them. It's just like she was not just letting them go by, and she was running with them.
Good.
Well, the more seat time she gets, the better she's gonna be.
Just imagine after she goes to Corey Cruiseman with me, she's gonna be unstoppable.
I know.
She's gonna be amazing.
Too bad they couldn't tow her car.
Let me get into this real quick.
Yeah.
So last night was our Jim Squire Memorial Race. We had 800 fans show up, over 800 fans show up, and we had 84 cars show up.
Wow!
So it was nice because the Jim Squire family was there, and it's been 10 years since they've been at Barona Speedway. So the Squire family had a memorial for Jim Squire passing away.
Mm-hmm.
He was actually one of the founding members of the original Barona Speedway. I think there was 4 or 5 original members, and he was one of them.
Wow.
So, and then Clint Newman is like one of the other originals that's still around because Clint Newman had bought out the other founding members, and then he switched it over to the Salazars, and they had this memorial that was at Jim's services, and it was a poster board, and it had pictures back from the 90s when Barona Speedway was nothing, being built, how it expanded. The cars that were out there, the first original bleachers and the first original bathrooms, and it was just so cool to see. There was so many people out there that were just we all sat most of the night just reminiscing about old Barona and the new Barona and how it's all going. And, these guys haven't been there forever, but they raced, at our track. And then, we found old pictures of the old micro sprints, which were the 250 sprints that ran at the track, and the 600s and the lightning sprints, and it was just a really fun time. But the Cody Nye, the guy that actually won the main event in the California Lightning Sprints, he's a friend of Corey Kuzman because he mentioned the Corey Kuzman driving school. He'd been to it, and he's sponsored by Kuzman too.
Well, we should have him call in on the show. I think sounds like a natural progression here.
You're just looking for tips.
Yeah.
You're just looking for tips.
So what? I'm trying to get
The
better.
only thing I worry about, if he's been to the school and he's not driving a lightning sprint, so if you go to the school, does that mean you and Brittany are going to start jumping into a lightning sprint now?
Uh-oh.
Tag team.
Uh-oh.
Tag team. Works for me.
Oh, jeez.
I think that'd be great. Not thinking about it? No?
I just need to retire so I can do all this stuff. That's all.
All right, so...
Just find me some rich guy.
So it's...
Okay, if you retire, can I be your personal assistant? And I can do everything with you too then?
Yeah.
There you go. Hey, so I guess what you're telling me then is the track really came together last night?
It was really a great track. It kind of started out rough because, we were anticipating it being a little more warmer, windy, whatever it was going to be. And we had the cloud cover from Friday and a little bit of rain Friday. So it still was pretty wet. We ended up having to trying to flip the whole track. So basically, I'm doing the driver's meeting at 3 o'clock, and then after the driver's meeting, 3:30, we roll out to the track and start rolling the track in. So I get done with my driver's meeting, and they're still got half the track tore up. I'm like, okay, this might take a little while. So they end up flipping it around, trying to roll the dirt over to get the wet stuff on the bottom to the top, dry stuff on the bottom, kind of mix it to dry it out a little bit more. Got through that, started doing the heat races. That gave us a break when we came out during intermission again with the kids, the junior drivers running their main events. Gave us a chance to go back and recut the track again. So we just worked with it the whole night. So by the time we get into the main event for our 23 lightning sprints that showed up, we're ready to go. It's ready to go. They rolled it in. They did 4 wide. Everyone stands standing up cheering for them.
God.
So it was an awesome night for that.
So you guys
and then it just progressed you there.
Yeah, so I think you're going to ask the same question I was going to ask. So after that last night, did they come and say, "Hey, we're coming back"?
Well, they want 2 more events because we have 2 events scheduled for a sprint car division. I mean, it was called the Outlaw Sprints, I think. There's 3 races on the schedule. 2 of them, one of them is California Lightning Sprints, and then the other ones they have. I'm looking it up now. I'm trying to see the Open Comp 1200 Lightning Sprint Night. Okay. Well, their first 2 races of California Lightning Sprints got rained out. So they're thinking about coming back and doing 2 makeup races, which would be the 2 races at our track for their 2 rain-out events. Sweet. Is kind of what they're thinking about doing.
Wow.
Now, if they weren't happy, guess what?
Yet.
They wouldn't. I know, but if they weren't happy, you wouldn't even be talking about it.
That's right.
Oh, no, they had a great night. Everyone I talked to, I mean, the top 3 were just, super fast. And actually, I had, what is it, trying to remember, the 15 that led him around was Jim Squire, John Squire, led him around for most of the race. And then it was just Nye that just found a good spot with lap traffic and got around him. So, you had Kramer, which is up there at Jarrett Kramer, who was at KUSI with us, was second. And then the 44 Brent Sexton was third. And that's the other one of the other drivers that was at KUSI with us, too. And they all just said, the track was just really, really good. One of the better tracks they've seen so far this year.
Wow.
Except for, like one of their first ones that was like, one of their favorite tracks, like not Barstow, Central California, like Bakersfield, I think.
The Kern County,
where they run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so it sounds like you guys are really getting that track dialed in, that new surface.
Troy has been really working at it. Like I said, every time is totally different, with your weather and how much you have going on. It's going to be how much heat you're getting, how much wind you're having. And I know we're getting in the summer, but he's really getting this thing dialed in. And if he's not happy with it, he'll bring another compound of clay. Like he's brought several different dirts in to blend with what he has to try and make it so the moisture stays in the corners and stuff like that. So he's just doing a phenomenal job. We're 5 races in, and he's getting a real good handle on it now. So I think by the end of the season, we should really be dialed in. By the next time these guys come again,
he'll be ready.
Really, really ready to go.
Well,
yeah.
and you know, it's funny. I can just imagine him driving around in his truck because he hauls dirt. I could just see him looking around going, oh, that dirt might be good. Let me stop. Goes out and squishes it in his hand. Okay, that's no good. Gets back in his truck. I bet he spends more time looking for dirt for the track than he does hauling dirt.
Well, I'm sure every time he's on a job, it's everything. He's like, I can take a couple of this buckets back. And then, like, oh, man, that was like the other thing was when we were in the pits last night with all the California lightning sprints, Jared Kramer can't, he's like still pulling the mud off his car. He goes, look, man, it's still wet and tacky at the end of the night. Like, after all of our main events, he's like, look, I can still put it in a ball. And he starts throwing it down. I'm like, wait, dude, what are you doing? You put that on a bucket and you take it back out to the track and you dump it on the track, not here.
By the way, I got a text from Brittany.
Oh, yeah.
She's all excited. If I buy the race car,
if Dave buys us the sprint car,
she'll be more than happy to drive it. Well, you know, what a girl. You know, what would we do without that kid?
She's something
Hey, if you buy me a house, I would live in it, Dave.
See?
Yeah, I got a sneaky feeling you would. I just can't feed you. All right. BaronaSpeedway.com, BaronaSpeedway.com. Let's see if we can break that 800 attendance last night the next time they're coming out. And when will that be?
Let's see. The next race will be featuring that figure 8 race. We're still trying to make sure that goes June 2nd.
June 2nd.
And then the other open comp nights was August 25th and October 20th. And we're looking at maybe doing that celebrity race in July, maybe 28th.
Yeah, I see where Eric Evans has got some of the cars, and he's already starting to get them all prepped and ready to go.
Yeah.
So folks, keep an eye on BaronaSpeedway.com to find out who's going to be in the celebrity race. You will be surprised. Dirt Dude, thank you very much. We'll talk to you down the road.
You guys have a good one. I'm going to try and recover from yesterday.
Yeah, go lay down.
Rest up.
Go lay down.
We'll talk to you next week.
All right.
By the way, we are on Facebook, in case you didn't figure that out yet, on Racer Radio. That's our name on Facebook.
Right.
And You Ought to Know has a page as well.
And don't forget carcentric.net right here on AM 1170.
The Answer. Happy trails.
Happy
trails to you till we meet again. Some trails are happy.
Racer Radio on AM 1170 The Answer is sponsored by Love Radio Network.